welcome to Bird's Eye View. It's going to be my spoiler review for episode 9 of WandaVision. Before we begin, don't forget to like and comment down below, subscribe and ring the bell to be notified whenever I do videos. I do them every single week, so make sure you keep a lookout for those. And for the final time in this WandaVision series of reviews, spoilers all the way through. Check out the episode, then check this review. Spoilers. This was a weird finale. Like, weird in the sense that, like, we got a load of stuff that we wanted and speculated. We also got nothing of something that had been speculated for a while. We got a lot of kind of things finished off, but a lot of things moving forward and everything. It was kind of all over the place in a good way. It did definitely stick the landing. It's just there's a couple of teething issues or a couple of things here and there that hopefully will kind of work themselves out as the MCU continues. But I will say, I definitely enjoyed the finale. It was fun. There was a lot of stuff happening. There's stuff I expected to happen, but I was still pleasantly surprised by it happening. It does kind of tie off the WandaVision series when the people that make it kind of basically said, we have no plans. I think it was Feige that said it. We have no plans to do more WandaVision series. At the end of this episode, I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. It doesn't need to have any more than this. This self-contained 9 episodes is all it really needs, because it's kind of wrapped everything up with that kind of stuff. And going forward in the MCU, Scarlet Witch is kind of continuing by herself, so she can move in and out of films and TV as she pleases. She doesn't need her own contained TV series. So this finale is very MCU in the case of it's all about fighting and battles and everything, and fighting the mirror of yourself. You had Vision versus White Vision, which was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. You also had Wanda versus Agatha Harkness, and it's Agatha trying to get the powers from her because she doesn't know how to control them, understand them, she doesn't have the knowledge of them, but she does, and she's using the book thing that seems to be or kind of the history of the Scarlet Witch and all these hexes and runes and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of the information. So going forward, I'd like to see more information about that and like a little bit more kind of rich history of the Scarlet Witch and witches in general. And I need more information there because, again, we still didn't get any confirmation of how Agatha gets her powers. And I don't know whether we ever will. But I still need more information going forward. And I'm hoping, eventually we are. I feel like Wanda will be that character. She's going into the multiverse of madness. I feel like maybe she might be in Spider-Man. She could pop up at any point, so we can still get more information, which is good. Having her choose between like Westview and her husband and the kids, and saving the people in Westview and splitting it apart and not splitting it apart, it shows that the kids aren't real as well, as I suspected, as we all suspected. Vision, obviously, we know isn't real. White Vision, I really liked the White Vision thing. I really loved the confrontation. They kind of have the kind of intellectual debate they had in, I think it was in the library or something like that. They stood there and they floated around. They kind of had this words of like the natural world and the order of things, and very very philosophical, very intellectual conversation which works for their character. To basically just explain to White Vision as like you don't need to be controlled. You can be something more, and then he gives him back all of his memories of everything that happened to him in the MCU, and then he pops back as this kind of Vision we know to a point. He just goes, I am Vision, and he flies off, and that is the last we see of White Vision. I kind of would have liked it if he just said, behold the Vision, as he flew off, because then I want to tie it back nicely to the cover that he's on when the White Vision first appears in the comics. That would have been nice, but I like the fact that we don't get any more from White Vision, because it kind of leans towards the future that Wanda and White Vision will kind of meet up again at some point, and they can rekindle this relationship, because he is the kind of Vision we know again. He's been given that opportunity to start again. Jimmy Woo and Darcy don't really get much to do in this. I mean, Woo gets a load of his guys in and everything to stop Hayward. Hayward ends up just being this kind of dick guy. That's pretty much it. There's nothing more to him than that. Darcy like rams him with the truck and everything. That's the only kind of moment she gets. So we didn't really get tie-off characters with, tying off with those characters, but I'm hoping at some point we'll see them again. We don't get tie-off with Monica, but we do get a nice superhero moment for her, where she tries to save the kids and the bullets go through as part of her new powers, which is great. Also shows Hayward as an absolute dick because he keeps firing at her, but he gets arrested and chucked away at the end. I don't really need to see more of him, to be honest. He's kind of just that kind of one-and-done villain. But I like what we got with Monica in that superhero moment, because we know we've got more of her going forward, as it shows in the end credit scene later on, which I'll get to. Once White Vision is gone, it is basically a showdown between Wanda and Agnes, and it was a lot of fun. It's kind of like all over the powers and all this kind of stuff, and it looks like she's giving all the powers to Agatha because she's just had enough of it, and what she really did was make runes inside the hex, which means that only she can have her powers and the witch can't, just like Agatha explained to her previously when she was in her kind of dungeon thing. Really good idea. That kind of depowers her, bursts her out and makes her the Scarlet Witch for the first time over, the proper kind of classic comic book costume. Really like that moment. It felt earned, that moment. Like it was such a big superhero reveal, and I really like that. I do also like the fact that she doesn't kill Agatha. Like she doesn't do the classic thing of like, right, the series is over, so kill off the villain. No, she puts her back in the hex as this kind of nosy neighbour character and leaves her there, and that's it. So she can come back to her whenever she wants, which I would really like. Because I think the actress that plays Agatha, I can't remember her name, so tell me in the comments below. She was really good. I really enjoy her as an actress, and I want to see more of that character, and I want to see more of her. So in the future, fingers crossed, they've left that open that we could potentially see more of her. Two things that are just kind of meh in this episode and the finale is, one, no Mephisto whatsoever. All the speculation, all the rumours, everything that I theorised and you theorised and everyone else has theorised throughout this entire season, it's gonna be Mephisto. There were so many memes all over the place. There is no Mephisto. He doesn't exist. It didn't happen. It was Agatha all along, as it says in her little video a couple of episodes previous. It was always her. The other thing that kind of made me go, that's a little bit kind of building us up to something and then literally just like pulling the rug from under and go, no, we're not doing that. And it's the whole Quicksilver thing. All the theories we had going around about, is it's the way the multiverse happens, it's the way the X-Men come into it, what's going on with this kind of fake Quicksilver that's Evan Peters, and it turns out he's just a guy called John Boner, I think, which was such a stupid joke. That was not a joke that landed for me. It really wasn't. And he's just a guy. That's all he is. Just a guy being powered by Agatha, which is the necklace that powers him, and Monica, pulls him away from it. So yeah, that was disappointing. It really was, considering all the things that could potentially have happened with that. The kind of final moments with Vision and the kids is something that was really, really kind of nice, that ties this series off really nicely. Just that heartfelt family moment of her saying goodbye to her kids, but without actually telling them what's going to happen, because obviously they're going to disappear once the hex is gone, as she's bringing it in to take away the hex. And I really liked the final moments with her and Vision. Once they were downstairs, what am I? And just had basically saying to him, you are the parts of the Mind Stone, my hope, my fears, my everything about it. You are my feelings from the Mind Stone that has made you who you are. And they've left it open that as he disappears, basically said, we'll see you soon. It's basically, they've said, this isn't goodbye, this is, we'll see each other again. We will have a hello again as he disappears. And I think, as I said, I think with White Vision that is possible. I'm surprised he didn't tell her what he did just before he went, because I thought that's what he was going to do, but he didn't. So I'm hoping at some point their paths will cross, and she'll be able to figure out, oh my god, this is what he left me. He left me a second chance with another vision, and that's amazing. Yeah, the hex is gone. She puts her hood up in a kind of very kind of new metal kind of way, walks through the town. Everybody's, I thought there was going to be another showdown for a second, because everybody was proper looking at her like they were pissed off because of what that she's been doing all this time. Then she has this quick moment with Monica and everything, realises they're all cool and everything, and she turns it into a like, kind of Scarlet Witch outfit and flies off. And that's it. That's the end of the episode. That's the end of the season. I think it was a nice way for her just to kind of say goodbye to Westview and this part of her life, and off she goes to kind of... She can't really stay anywhere. She kind of has to go on the run in a way, and just... Off she goes to kind of discover herself a bit more and figure out what these powers are. There are 2 end credit scenes as well, and the first one, as I mentioned before, is with Monica, and I really liked that. It gave her a little bit extra, because obviously we're going to go forward with her in the future. It's one of the Skrulls was there. They brought her into the theatre, and the Skrull's there, and she points up saying there's a guy that wants to talk to you. She's talking about Nick Fury, friend of your mum's, and all that kind of stuff. So it's pushing forward what that end credit scene we saw from Far From Home with Nick Fury, all that space stuff going forward. Perfect. Really like that, looking forward to it. And the second end credit scene was really annoying me, because I didn't think there was going to be one. I thought I'd skip to the end of the credits and just double check, and there was something. So I kept pressing play, and Disney Plus, for some reason, it kept glitching out, and it wouldn't play on the point of the end credit scene. It just kept going back to the start. So I quit out of that, found it on YouTube, and it is just a quick thing with Wanda. She's managed to find some place to settle, this little house in the middle of nowhere. She looks like she's just there, like boiling a kettle and just, living her life by herself. And then you can see that she's there, actually, as the Scarlet Witch, is like this dual thing, reading through that book. Again, I can't remember what it's called. And basically trying to figure out her powers, learn about her powers, and learn what to do next and where to go. So I love that they kind of left that open, that she's definitely a good guy, but she could be like a ticking time bomb. At any moment, she could just revert to being evil. And I like they've kind of struck that balance with this character. She's not wholly good, she's not wholly evil, and she could go any which way going forward. So again, it doesn't spoil too much going into the Multiverse of Madness. We don't know whether she's going to be at odds with Doctor Strange or helping Doctor Strange. We really don't know, and I like not knowing too much about it. So it was a good kind of fun end credit scene for her. Overall, guys, that was a really fun episode. I really did enjoy it. It definitely had its problems with No Mephisto. The Quicksilver thing was a bit weird. There was a couple of things that didn't happen here and there. There's a lot of things left open and not tied off. But I still really enjoyed it. We've got a lot of stuff going on with Wanda going forward. We've got stuff with Monica going forward. There was nice heartfelt moments to finish off with these characters. There was great stuff with the White Vision and all that Revelation stuff. I like the character Agnes. I'm glad she's still alive, so we can hopefully go back with her in the future. It was a good kind of sticking of the landing of a season, and I'm looking forward to what happens going forward. So I need to give it a star rating this entire season. It has been one of the most consistent seasons I've ever had, and it really does give you loads of shocking moments, a load of things to theorise. It kind of builds things up. It has great character moments. There's just a lot of fun, a lot of stuff that they gave you as well, a lot of stuff they kind of alluded to in the future. It really was a good, solid and fun season, and it was definitely something that was different from what MCU usually do. So I'm not saying it's like the highest tier possible, but I think it's a good, solid, high 4 stars. So that's what I thought of WandaVision episode 9 and the entire season. What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. If you want to find me on social media, any of these, all links are in the description, and I'll see you soon.